Hey, everybody. It's Jamal from the Wastewater's podcast. And thank you for tuning in to a special bonus episode of the Wastewater's podcast tutorial section. Today, I am joined by Wayfarer Ambassador tehstone, and he is going to help us today get set up with our plugins. So, as you guys know, there's been a lot of jokes about me and the plugins and my plugins on plugins on plugins on plugins. Then my computer died, and now I have a brand new computer. As you guys might have known, I have a Mac computer, and it has 0 plugins on it. And I'll pull it up and I'll show you that there are no plugins on this screen. As you look up and down, there's no percentages or anything. It is as clean as can be. So, tehstone, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Jamal. How about you?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us again here on the Wastewaters podcast for our tutorial section. We haven't really come up with a really catchy name for it yet, so we'll just call it bonus content and the tutorial section. But at some point, we'll come up with the name for this. But these are going to be sections that are going to be separate from the podcast. We'll have this on YouTube, YouTube Shorts, and we'll also have it on TikTok. And we're
All
going to be
right.
talking to different people in the community who have a lot of things that can offer to the waste spotters and the explorers. And you, sir, are the expert when it comes to plugins. Do you want to talk a little bit about who you are and why you're here?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you mentioned, one of the ambassadors was selected in the first year, and luckily we were asked to come on for a second year, and been happy to take part in that and see how things are moving with this second cohort. As far as the topic of this, the add-ons and plugins for the Wayfarer website, that's something that I've been involved in since before Wayfarer was Wayfarer. There's a long history of tools to sort of improve and enhance the site, going back to the old OPR tools back in the day that I wrote some code for that, and that did lots of neat things. And then we had Wayfarer Plus, and then now here today we've got just a bunch of individual tools that do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, happy to kind of help you get your new computer set up, and hopefully some folks will see something they like and try it out, and it will enhance their Wayfarer experience.
Nice. Now, I have to ask you the question that I think a lot of people who are watching this right now are asking. Are these Wayfarer tools legal, and can they get me banned for using them?
So with the tools that I'm involved in, we try to keep things above board. We don't do any sort of sharing of voting data or collaboration or collusion or what have you. To my knowledge, no one has ever received a ban specifically for using any of the tools that we're going to talk about today. That said, there's always some risk. I can't guarantee it. These don't have the official stamp of approval from Niantic, as much as I would like to see that happen in the future. So they're still definitely use at your own risk, but I can say that, as far as myself, a number of the other Wayfarer ambassadors, a number of other active folks throughout various parts of the community, there's a lot of use of these tools. And we haven't had any consequences for it. So
Nice.
take
And
that as you will.
I've personally been using Wayfarer Plus for, I don't know, when did you first get me on this? 2 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, I
Has it been
mean,
about
Wayfarer
18
Plus
months ago?
was, yeah, these tools came out in like late summer 2021 to replace
Yeah.
Wayfarer Plus. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been that way. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen again, and we will go and jump right into this. So I am here on my screen, my reviewer screen. So as you guys see, as of today, what is today? April the 18th, I'm at 84% to an upgrade. And my Wayfarer rating is great. Boy, wouldn't it be? My Wayfinder rating is great. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if I had dropped down to good right as we were doing this? I've reviewed 39,267 nominations. I just keep telling people that I'm right around 40,000 when I'm really not, but I'm going to get there. It's just been really tough. And some people have more. I have 2 upgrades and I'm very proud of my upgrades. I tend to use them, and I've got some kind of internal quirky rules when it comes to using an upgrade. So tehstone. So what do I need to do here? I don't need to be on this screen. I need to be on another screen, right?
Yeah, so the first thing you're gonna need to do is install what's called a script manager extension
Okay.
for your browser. The one that a lot of people use is called Tamper Monkey. So you can get this if you're using Chrome or Firefox. Go to the add-on store or the Chrome Web Store or whatever applies to
Mm-hmm.
your situation, and just search for Tamper Monkey. You can also look for Grease Monkey. There's a couple other ones. Um, and what these do basically is they allow you to sort of get pieces of code, individual scripts, and put them in, and those scripts sort of do some modifications to a website. I should note here that because this is running extra code on top of a website, there can be security concerns. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're if you're ever prompted to install something outside of the Wayfarer or Ingress Intel context, just be very careful
And
of
don't
what
do
it
it.
is. But
Right.
and yeah,
So for
probably don't do it.
don't do. So to make everything nice and smooth, I've already installed Tamper Monkey on my new Mac. And then what I've done for everybody is I've gone to a website, and what you're looking at here is wayfarer.tools. So I've gone to this website here. So that's where we are, as I'm on wayfarer.tools. So that's the next thing that I need to do, correct?
That's right. So this website was set up by one of the other folks that works on these plugins, and this is kind of the big single source of all the most popular stuff out there. So everything that he and I work on is on here, and then there's another guy, Alter Toby. All the stuff that they work on is on here as well, and so this is kind of the
Okay.
place to start. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
So, as it shows on here, unofficial Wayfarer Tools Index. This site is a collection of tools designed to make Wayfarer a less painful experience to use. Editorial, I love that. Please note, none of these tools are sponsored or in any way affiliated with Niantic or Wayfarer, and using them is at your own risk. So, like we said, I just wanted to reiterate that. So, if you're out there and you're watching this, it's not endorsed by Niantic or by Wayfarer, but it works. And sometime in the future, it might be. We don't know, but I just want to let everybody know that. So nobody sue me. If you use it and something happens, use it at your own risk. Is that fair to say, Testone?
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to just move the mouse around, and I'm going to let you talk because you are the expert. Oh, before we go any further, once you get that done, make sure you go and click this blue button and join the Wayfarer discussion Discord. That Discord is owned or maintained or owned or created, gave birth to by Testone. It's so awesome. It's a bunch of people from all over the globe who have a love for Wayfarer, like me and you, and people who are watching this. And I've made a lot of friends on this side of the planet and on that side of the planet. I've made some people happy. I've made some people mad. At one point, I was an expert on there. Now I'm an expert emeritus. It's a great place. So I would, if you're watching this video and you're not on the Wayfarer discussion Discord, please do go and join it. And if you're looking in the podcast feed, Chris and I have a link to the Discord. It's free to join. There's no Patreon. We have a link in every single one of our shows for you to go and join it. So a couple different ways for you to go and join it. Or if you have a question, you can ping me or you can ping Techstone, and we will tell you how to join the Wayfarer discussion Discord. But it's a bunch of like-minded people who love Wayfarer and want to make it better. You can get help with your nominations. You can share coal. There's a lot of things you can do there to enhance your Wayfarer experience.
That's right. Yeah, and it's also kind of the place to go if you're looking for help with these tools, have some ideas for additional ones or changes and all that. So highly recommend
All
as
right.
well.
Cool. That was my commercial for you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right.
it.
So I've done step one, and I've got the script, and it's on there on my browser. So now step two. So like I said, I'm going to stop talking here. I'm going to let you take it over, and you just tell me what to click.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so yeah, real quick here. Some of the scripts on here, you'll have to install this base script first to get them to work. If you're just going to go through and install kind of all of these, maybe do this first. As we go through each one, it'll kind of warn you if you need this. But then a lot of them work just standalone on their own. So when you click, it'll go to this page, the Tamper Monkey page, kind of explains what's going on here. Another little warning like we talked about, and then it has the button to go ahead and install it. And if you already have it installed, it might have like an update or reinstall there.
How would I know if it installed?
Yeah, so in the upper right of your browser, where the extensions live, there will be one for Tamper Monkey with that little icon, the black box and the two little white circles. If you're on the Wayfarer website, once you install, refresh that web page, and then it'll have a little number for how many scripts are running.
Okay, let me go to that right now. All right, so now the way that this program works, you guys can't see this, but that little Tamper Monkey, and it says I have a red number 1.
Perfect. Yeah. So,
all right. So we're good to go there. All right. So let me go back here.
Yeah. So I believe that was for the base script there.
Okay.
Yep. So now if you just scroll through and see one you like, each one has its own install button, and kind of the same as that first one. You just click on that. It will.
So can we do this real quick, tehstone? Can we just kind of walk through and maybe give like 15 seconds on each one, and then we'll go back and install? So what is auto hold? I know it says puts a nomination on hold.
Yeah, these are sorted, I think, alphabetically rather than by how useful anyone perceives that they are. So yeah, so auto hold is sort of a workaround since there's no way to automatically place new notifications on nominations on hold. So basically, if you have this installed and you put that hashtag hold in your supporting statement, then when you log into the Wayfarer website, go to your nominations page, this script will go through and look for that text. And if it finds it, it'll put that nomination on hold automatically. So saves you a couple clicks.
Wait. Hold on a second. Hold on. How did I not know this? That's
so
really a thing?
I didn't know about this one either until I was prepping for this meeting last week.
I don't have a breaking news sounder. I'm going to have to get a breaking news sounder. Like, dude, like seriously, this is not for like YouTube. I honestly did not know this was a thing.
So I mentioned this in the channel. I was talking with some folks about this, and like nobody knew this existed. Like nobody knew. And I was like, yeah, me either. Where did this come from?
Like, that is amazing. So
yeah,
when you can just do hashtag hold in the supplemental information, and then you don't have to worry about it accidentally going into voting later. It'll just do that. That is amazing.
You still have to get to the website in time, like log in
and refresh.
But it saves you having to remember, and it saves you having to find it and do the clicks and all that. So
all right. I just installed that one. That's a game changer. Like thank you. Like you just made my life like so much easier. So
the installation numbers for that one are going to jump.
Yeah, it should. That's good, dude. All right. So we've got that one. So I did the auto hold. Dupes Scroll.
Yep.
What's Dupes Scroll?
Yeah, so this one's pretty minor. By default, if you mouse over the list of duplicate pictures and you scroll the mouse wheel, it just scrolls the whole web page, just like if the mouse is anywhere else. So this makes it if the cursor is within that area, it will just horizontally scroll across the images. So it's just a nice little like tweak to the site, quality of life sort of thing.
All right, I'm going to leave that one alone for now.
The next one,
this one here, you built this one. This says by tehstone.
Okay, so I gotta say here, the other individual that I mentioned that made this website and works on these with me, his name is BILDE 2910. He's also on the discussion Discord. He's done a lot of the work on these. In fact, he wrote this one top to bottom, but he puts my name on all of them anyway. So I did not actually make this one.
So you get the glory.
That's right.
So edits differences.
Yeah, so a lot of times you'll be looking at one and it's 2 paragraphs of text and they've changed 1 character and you're sitting there like, where
Yeah,
is the typo? Cannot find it. This
right.
just saves you all that trouble.
All
I
right.
love this one. I love this
All
one.
right. I'm going to bring it up here, and we know this is going to kick us off, but that lets me know that it's installed, right? That lets me know it's installed. So
That's
great.
right.
Okay, I like that one. All right.
That one has saved me hours of my time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the great thing is, for all of you out there watching this on YouTube or TikTok, there's a lot of stuff that's getting cut out that you guys will never see. That it's just us like talking and like figuring out, what did I do? How did Jamal make this crash? All right. Now this one here is one of my favorites. And this is one of the ones I missed the most when I had to get a new computer. So extended stats.
Yeah, so people love this one. You like to see how you're doing overall, and Niantic gives you like most of the information, but not quite all of it. So what this one does is there's a couple different ways it determines how many agreements do you actually have, because
Mm-hmm.
you may not know this, but those 3 numbers on there don't add up to what you've actually earned. And so this has a
Right.
couple different ways to calculate that number. It gives you the percentage. This screenshot actually needs to be updated because it's not showing the additional piece of information that this one adds, which is your other agreements count. So
Your other
edits,
agreements, right?
photos, all that stuff.
Right.
So this one's great.
This
This one
one,
has
oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
this one also has a tie-in with the Wayfarer discussion Discord. It has a button you can click to copy all these stats at once. You go over to one of the channels in the Discord, put it in there with a command to one of our bots, and then if you have enough agreements, you might make it on our leaderboard over there.
If you're incredibly lucky, trainer, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and this is my favorite. So I've talked to people about this before, and I want to say my percentage is around 64%. And I know some people have close to 70, 72, 74%. I like to say my percentage is lower because I'm a little more lenient when I'm a reviewer. And so I tend to approve more things than some people do who kind of are heavy on that deny stick. And so more people are kind of heavy on the deny side than I am on the favorable side. So my percentage is a little bit lower. So I think 63 and a half is what it was. Do you know what yours is off the top of your head?
So mine hangs out anywhere from 67 to 70%,
Okay.
depending on how much I've reviewed in the last couple weeks.
Gotcha.
So to me, that's fine. Some people you'll see higher, 75 or 80, and it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm not as high up on the leaderboard as I want to be, but it is what it is. I always say, and I took this from you, dude. I stole this from you. I have never given you credit for this, but I have given you credit, but I stole this from you like a year ago. You either review to approve or you review to deny. I have said that probably 8 million times, and I 100% stole that from you. So I'm giving you credit to your face. But I am a review to accept versus a review to deny. And I love that. So that's probably
Yeah,
why
I'm
my
pretty proud of
percentage is
that
a little
one.
bit lower. Yeah, dude, that's
I,
you. I say that all the time, and I should give you credit. So there it is.
yeah, thank you. Right now, Jamal, you are number 22 on the leaderboard, so you're doing all
Okay.
right. Yeah,
Okay. And that's out of what is there about a couple thousand on the Discord?
yeah,
How many
we've
are in the
got about
Discord?
over 5,000. Yeah,
5,000. So number
yeah,
22 out of 5,000 is not bad.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
See,
I'd take that.
to all the people out there who say I have a podcast and I don't know what I'm talking about, I do. All right. Anyways.
This video is going to bring new people in. You might get bumped down a few slots.
Oh man, that's okay. That's okay. There's that guy in South Korea that is just
Yeah,
amazing. I don't even remember what his name is, but a machine. 100%
yeah, he
just
passed
crazy,
200,000 reviews recently.
which is
So
amazing. And it's one of those thank you for your service. All right.
exactly.
So image mod, what is that?
Yeah, so this one, you see those little blue magnifying glasses there. Basically, anywhere
Yes.
on the website that there's a photo, of a nomination or of a live way spot. It adds that little button. You just click on that. It opens the full resolution version of that image in a new browser tab. So again, just saves you a
Nice.
couple clicks, but it kind of avoids some of the weirdness around looking at larger versions of the photos, especially on the review screen. So
Okay.
that
I
one's
like
a
that.
nice little
Yeah.
upgrade. Yeah.
Okay. So now the next one, I remember when I first got the plugins, I was told that this one was a little bit more dangerous and it was a little bit more use as your own risk because using the keyboard review would make you review faster and potentially could go against the quote unquote Niantic's clock, which was kind of that old myth that I still don't know is true or not, that if you review too fast, you could potentially get a cooldown. So do you want to talk about this one and tell me if I'm right or if I'm off base?
So I can't tell you. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know how true
Okay.
that is. There's
Okay.
evidence both ways.
Okay. That's fair.
I will say though, this is one of the most popular and most talked about plugins.
Okay.
So I personally use it extensively just to kind of avoid RSI.
Hmm.
I spend a lot of time at a computer for work and for fun and for Wayfair, and Wayfair is work and fun. Um, and it basically just turns most of the review process into something you can do with the keyboard instead of having to move your mouse all around and all that. And
Gotcha. Okay.
this is one of the ones that I would love to see Niantic kind of implement natively.
Implement.
Um,
All right. Fantastic.
yeah.
All right. Thank you for that.
So, yep.
Yeah.
This next one I think we can skip.
Okay. We'll skip this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and skip this one. If people want to look into it, they can look into it.
Yeah.
Nomination map.
Yeah, so this is a great one. So this one basically adds a map to the top of your nominations page and just shows you where all of them are. And each marker is a different color, depending on the current status of that nomination. So in the image here, you see the green ones; those are all accepted. Red one was reject. It's got colors for stuff that's still in queue and voting, on hold, all that good stuff. And then if you click on one of the markers on the map, it will actually load the detail for that nomination. So that's a fun one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, some
And this
people.
actually, sorry,
Yeah, go
this
ahead.
actually does another thing. This adds a counter to the right above your nomination list. It'll say how many total
Yep.
nominations you have, so you can see that quickly.
Yep. That's what I was going to say.
Okay, sorry.
And yeah, no, we're thinking of the same thing. All right. So moving on to the next one, nomination status history. What's up with this?
Yeah, so the Wayfarer website really only tells you what the current status of your nomination is. It doesn't tell you when it entered that status, doesn't tell you what the previous status was. So what this one does is basically every time you check your nominations, it keeps track of the current state of each one, and then if one of them is in a different state than it was last time, it'll have this little pop-up here say, oh, this one went into voting, this one got approved, this one went into Niantic review, all that stuff.
I love
And
this one.
so it's a nice way. And then it also adds a little expandable menu per nomination for like the history of like what day did it go through each stage. So you can kind of go back and see. Unfortunately, like I said, none of the data is available in hindsight, so it can only keep track of what you what you see
What you
as
do.
after you install
Yep.
it. But yeah,
Yep.
it's
Which is
nice.
fine. Which is fine.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Moving right along. Nomination stats. I'm a
Yes,
leaderboard
this
guy.
is
I'm a stats guy. So this one excites me a lot.
Yeah, so this is another popular one. So this is kind of like that extended stats, except it's for your personal nominations. It just kind of shows you at a glance, like how have you done over your Wayfarer career? And so it's a nice way to just make a little screenshot and share with other people. If you have a whole bunch in queue and in voting, you can complain and share that a little bit or
Right.
celebrate. Oh, I have this many accepted or whatever. So
Right. Now,
yeah, that
this
one's
one is
fun.
going to vary a lot depending on your location.
Absolutely.
If you are in a location where people just accept everything, absolutely everything, and I know people around the world are in that. My area is kind of like, you know me, I'm the what's a few meters between friends guy. It's always going to be touching the nomination. Like I'm not. I don't want to say I'm high profile, but if I was to do something that would be cheating, it's real easy to call me out because I'm the guy with the podcast. But
Mhm.
if there's a statue and it's got a wide base, it might not be where you think it's going to be, but I'm going to have it somewhere on that specific base of it that's going to be, favorable to what I'm trying to accomplish. Let's just leave it at
Mhm.
that. So, but depending on where you are in the world, what your local community is, some of your accepted or rejected might be a little bit higher or lower, or some of your dupes. I've got a lot of things that are marked as dupes that I don't think is dupes, but that's a whole nother podcast. So, but I,
Yeah, I've seen people with 80 or 85% accepted, and mine's lower than my agreement ratio. I'll say that.
right. And
So
I don't even remember what mine is. So I'm looking forward to getting these plugins started. So what I figured out now, Testone, is I can do this in the background without sharing the screen and it doesn't
mm,
crash it. So I'm installing
perfect.
all of these now. All right. So nomination types. So this one is one that has always kind of made me kind of raise an eyebrow because I fear gatekeepers on this one. And
Mhm. So
some people, like when we first started, if some people knew a Pogo person, nominated it, they might look at it different than an English person. So actually, let me let you talk it through and then I'll give you my kind of commentary.
okay, sure. Yeah, so that's interesting that you say that, because I view this as just being something for your own personal knowledge. So this only this doesn't have any data that comes from the site. This is all stuff that you enter yourself. So what this does is for each nomination, it just has a little checkbox like which game did you nominate this in? So you can kind of
Oh,
see,
so
yeah,
this is not
this
this
isn't
is
the
not
one
the
on the
plugin.
showcase.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so there was a plugin I had before that in the upper right hand corner of the nomination would show me a Pokeball.
So that one was only doing that based on certain words being in the text. We don't,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
you
Okay.
can't actually tell for sure which game. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's a
So
different one.
my mistake. I thought that was this one because there were some that it would show a Pokeball in the upper right hand corner, and then when I
Yeah.
look
I
through
remember
it,
that
and you,
one.
yeah, okay, all right,
I don't
okay,
think that still exists, but yeah, so this one I've gone through and tagged all of mine. I have about 250 that I nominated through Pokemon Go, and then about 1,700 I've nominated through Ingress. So it took me a lot of clicking to go through and say,
gotcha.
but like I mentioned before with the nominations map, it adds a little count of your total number.
Yes.
This one will then add to that and say how many of that number are from each game. So you can just kind of see. Um,
You
yeah.
want to know another blame Jamal quirk? I only
Sure.
nominate through Ingress.
Oh, same. Yeah. I I very rarely
I
nominate in Pokemon
I
Go.
I want the portal key. I want the
Yeah.
key to the portal. So there's probably of the 300, 400 I've nominated, there's probably 15, 10 that I nominated through Pokemon Go. And then I did it. And I'm like, why did I do that? Now I got to drive all the way back over there once it's approved to get the key to the portal. I don't know. Anyhow,
Yeah.
I've got a lot of
No,
quirks. Just ask my wife.
I get you. So we skipped one here, the Street View.
Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, that's a big
Yeah.
one. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Street
Yeah.
View.
No, all good. So the Street View used to be natively on the nomination view, and Niantic
Mhm.
removed it, and we don't actually know why they removed it. So we added it back. Um, so this just shows you basically what the reviewer is going to see when they load up your review and what's on Street View.
Right.
And then
Now
this also
that's
gives
going to
you,
be important because the photosphere is gone, so we really need to see this to verify, right?
yeah, definitely. You can't go make your own photospheres very easily anymore. So it's nice to know. And if it looks real bad, you can make a note in your supporting text or withdraw it and try again or whatever. And then this also adds some other little handy stuff here. It makes the nomination title a link to the Intel map, and then it adds like the GPS coordinates so you know exactly where it is, and you can click on those to copy that to your clipboard. So
Awesome. That's a
extra
very
little
handy
tweak.
dandy. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Cupid Spawn. Open in adds direct link to external map provides wherever maps are displayed in Wayfarer. Also adds a supporting for a large number of regional slash national mapping services. What's that?
Yeah, so this one, the name is a little confusing, but basically this just adds potentially dozens of different extra links to different mapping services. So for those of us in the US, Google Maps is usually about the best there is. You might want to look at Bing or OpenStreetMap for certain pieces of information, but usually Google gets it done. In other countries, they typically will have like a service provided by their government that is much higher quality for their local areas than Google provides. And
Gotcha.
so this one actually will identify if a nomination is in one of the countries that has one of those, it will put that link there. So if
And
you look at
it'll
the code for this, there's like 100 different links that it can possibly add, but it's
mm,
smart enough to know which ones to add.
that's
So
amazing. Okay. And
yeah,
that'll pop up on a separate window, correct?
yeah. So you click that link, it'll
Okay.
open a new tab. Yep.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
yeah.
All right. Original location. Oh my goodness. Do you know how I love this one? Like, if
So
I
this
wasn't already
one,
married, I might marry this one.
some people have a problem with this. They think you shouldn't have to know.
Oh,
But there are times you got to know. So this just puts a marker on whichever one the weight spot is currently at. Yeah.
I
And
love
that
it.
that same feature is actually built into another plugin that we'll see later. But this one, if you just want that, you can install this.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's people that tell me, Jamal, you don't need to know that. And I'm an information guy. I want to know everything. Like
oh
literally, I
yeah.
want to know everything. That doesn't mean I'm going to talk about it and tell people about it, but I want to know. All right.
Yeah,
Rejection
absolutely.
plus. I love this one because when I get stuff rejected, it doesn't, I can have other reasons to feel bad about myself, right?
That's right. Just pile it on there. So as you can see from this screenshot here, it sort of adds the full text of each rejection reason. This is a screenshot taken from the nomination detail view. By default, it would just have that first line for each one. But what is really key about this is that the Wayfarer website, a lot of people don't realize this, but nominations can have more than 2 rejection reasons. And every time you load the page, it will just display 2 of them at random. This plugin kind of keeps
Interesting.
track of like, oh, this refresh, I saw these 2, this other refresh, I saw those 2. I'm going to show all 4 of these. So you can kind of look and
Ah,
see, oh, this one has 5 different rejection reasons. Um,
okay.
so it's kind of fixing a Niantic bug, but that's what we do.
Gotcha. Awesome. And so we're coming down to the finish line here. So reverse image search.
Yeah, so this is a popular one for the folks that like to look out, have a sharp eye out for abuse. So this one, you click that link there, it goes to a Google image search, and then you can see very quickly if someone used an image they found on the internet.
So this is
And
your
this adds,
third party photo finder.
that's right. So this adds this link for the main and supporting photos. Just
Awesome.
supporting photo being third party isn't technically a reason to reject, but sometimes you want to know. So
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Awesome.
yeah.
And this is one of my favorites because I like it. Review
It's just
counter.
it's more data. You got to know. Yeah.
It's more
So
data.
this
So yeah, go ahead. Tell us all about this one.
yeah, when you start a new browser session, this starts at 0. You can also click on it to reset if you want for some reason, and it just every time you complete a nomination, it goes up by 1. And then when you have a long day of reviewing and you've done 500, you can take a screenshot and show off.
See, I would never show off. Never.
Never, never.
Never. And post it on Discord. Never. I would never do such a thing. I like to do this to kind of keep track because when I get into a review cadence, I tell myself, okay, you can't stop until you get to this number. And so I'll
Mhm.
use that to kind of remind myself, even if I get up from reviewing and take a break or go talk to the family, which you got to do every now and then, I'll make sure before the day is over that I hit the number that I want to hit.
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice way
Okay.
to not get ahead of yourself.
Yes, exactly. All right.
Yeah.
Review history table. What's this?
Yeah, so this one works. It requires the next one on this list to work, but basically, there's a plugin that just keeps track of every review that you complete. It pulls in all the nomination detail, and then it saves all of the voting detail that you provide, keeps it hidden in the browser, and then this one takes that data and puts it all in a table and displays it on your
Nice.
profile page.
All right. So
So
we need which one? We need history IDB.
yeah, so this next
So
one
this
here.
next one. Okay. So let's
Yep.
talk about this in tandem with that. All right.
Ah, this needs a new screenshot too. So yeah, this one, like I said, just kind of sits there in the background. Every time you do a review, it just saves all that data out, and it has buttons to export that data. There's a map website, again made by Build. You can import the data there and see all of your review history on the map as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
Great. So that review history is very interesting. So I see how those can work together well, and
Mhm.
I'm going to use those. So moving right along, I don't want to keep you all night. Tell me about review map mods.
Yeah, so this one adds the S2 cells and some distance circles to the map on the review page. Um, there's some debate about whether you need to know that when you're reviewing, but if you got to know, there you go. What this also does is with the recent change to the Wayfarer website where we just have one map now, by default it goes to just the sort of the boring map. This adds options to kind of change the default. Like, do you want to default to the satellite view? Do you want to default to street view? So you can kind of get some of that back. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Now there's ways in which people can use this for not so nice purposes. We won't talk about it now, but
yeah, don't do that.
yeah, there's just be good. Just be a good person.
That's right.
It's one of those things like you always hear that thing that saying this is why we can't have nice things. If you
That's right.
use these things to be bad, then they'll get taken away from you. So
That's
just
right.
don't be a
Use it for good.
yeah, exactly. Use it for good. All right. Reviewer
Yeah.
timer start with smart submit. What does that mean?
Yeah, so for each review you get 20 minutes to fill it out. So this adds a timer to the top of the page that counts down from 20 minutes. And then again, kind of like we talked about before, you know, the myth of like if you do reviews too fast, you get in trouble. So this lets you set like some parameters for how many seconds you want it to wait. So you could say like wait at least 20 seconds, no more than 25 seconds. So you fill out
Ooh.
all the things and then you click the button and then it waits until at least 20 seconds to submit it.
So
So
I'm old, and like old cars, you puts a governor on it, right?
that's
You
right.
can't do
That's right.
anything. It puts a governor on it. I like that. So if
That's
you
right.
historically review really fast, you can tell it, do not let me submit it until it's been 30 seconds on the clock. And it won't
Yep.
let you submit it until it's 30 seconds on the clock. So,
And then when it
all
hits
right.
30 seconds, it submits it for you. You don't have to be
I,
waiting.
I I actually love that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
can kind of
Great.
multitask, right? All right.
That's
So
right.
this one here, showcase. So this is kind of what I was referring to earlier. So tell me about the showcase.
Yeah, so this one just on the showcase, you can actually tell for sure which game something was nominated through. So this just adds that information on there. I
Okay.
think it has some other tweaks, but I forget. I haven't used that one in a while.
And
Um,
again, don't use anything to be bad. Only use it for
that's right.
good. And if you have that old plugin that shows you what game it was nominated through, don't be a gatekeeper one way or the other. Just be good. Just
That's right.
just just be good. All right. Ticket support ticket saver.
Yeah, so the help chat is very good at losing the history of your tickets. And so this just kind of saves them all in one place. It adds an extra item to the left-hand nav, and you click on that and you get a box that pops up that shows all of the tickets that you've ever submitted. And so you can go back and look through if you need to see some information about a previous one or what have you. So
Okay.
again, kind of fixing some shortcomings of Niantic, but yeah,
Right. Okay.
nice to
Good.
have.
And then store appeal information.
Yeah, so this one isn't really needed anymore. When appeals first rolled out, you typed in your appeal statement, you click submit, and then you never got to see that text again.
Right.
Later, they added the emails. You get that text in an email.
Yep.
So now, unless you're now, if you're appealing things that you submitted through the Ingress redacted scanner, that's the only reason you'd want this plugin now.
I haven't heard that word. Anyways, I hear redacted, and it kind of. If you guys listen to season one, redacted was my word that kind of gave me the willies a little bit for a
Yeah,
lot of different reasons that we won't get into today. All
that's
right,
right.
translation buttons.
Yeah, so this is another one that's popular with folks outside of the US where there's a higher likelihood that you'll be reviewing nominations in multiple languages, languages you don't know. So this just adds a button.
Wait, you mean
Basically
like
each,
Spanish, Taiwanese, or Italian?
yeah, there may be
Okay.
a use case for this soon. In fact, I installed this just when the Indonesia challenge started.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, so this just adds a button that just goes right to the Google Translate page for each of the 3 pieces of text that a nomination has. Then it also adds one button to just translate all of it at once.
Fun fact, up until about 10 days ago, I was still reviewing my bonus location in Indonesia.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's your late change.
Yeah. But
um,
now my bonus location is in Ottawa. So I'm getting the
nice. You get some good stuff.
Canadian flavor. Yeah.
Yeah. So the last 2 here, I think we can skip. This one
Okay.
we can talk about real quick, but um, yeah, so this one, URLify, URLs are allowed in supporting
Hmm.
text. That's not a reason to reject. And this
Hmm.
one just turns them into actual URLs that you can click on. So
Gotcha.
it's a nice
So when
button.
people put a copy of their historical register city website, you'll be able to click on it.
Yeah, instead of having to copy and paste it
Gotcha.
and all that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. And then the
Yep.
last one just shows the current version, which I don't think anyone who's not a programmer really cares about, right?
Yeah. And then this one, I don't know what this one does.
The Wayfarer stats.
Try it out, see if you like it. I don't understand all the things it displays, but you can give it a try.
All right.
Yeah.
I will give it a try. All right. So that in a nutshell is the Wayfarer tools. So I'll scroll back up to the top and I'm going to go over to my profile page and I'm going to hit refresh. And what you guys can't see, what it's showing me is that I have 24 plugins ready to go. So
Excellent.
I am going to stop sharing. And as we finish up this episode, I'm going to allow you to share your screen and kind of talk about some of these in the wild. So let me go ahead and stop sharing. And I'm going to allow you over there to go ahead and pull up something on your side.
So real quick here, look at the review page first, so we can kind of see some of the ones we talked about. The reverse image search, image mod just adds this. Click and open it in the new tab there. Actually, I can show off this one as well. So we'll just check and make sure. Yep, other people have taken photos of this, but not this one. And then you can do kind of a double check here. So yeah, we've got the translation buttons, and then you can kind of see here, like, well, you can't see, but I'm using my keyboard here. Just type the
Mhm.
arrows, the numbers, automatically moves to the next one, and then it goes to here. I can do that, and then I can just hit enter, and it'll send it in. And then we should be able to, yeah, we'll approve this one. Here you can see the smart submit in action. It'll tell you when it's going to submit it. And then down here at the bottom, you can kind of see how I have this set up for minimum and maximum delay. And then down here, we've got the map default.
And then
um,
up top, I'm looking at, so what is that upper left hand? It says, what does it say? Storage usage? What is that?
yeah, so we kind of skipped over this one. Some of the older versions of plugins used what's called local storage. Sometimes it would fill up, so you'd want to keep track of that. And this lets you kind of delete or see what those are.
Hmm.
Most people don't need to use this anymore, but if you need it, it's there. But yeah, you can see we've got a review count. You can see the timer here. And then, yeah, so these are the open-in links that we talked about. This one's just in the US, so it's just the default ones here.
Right.
But you can kind of see also just all the things that the keyboard review adds, all these letters and all that.
Yeah.
Um,
Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So you and your partners have done a lot of work. Want to end on this? Can you go up to the top of your screen here because your upgrades are making me physically ill? Go to the top of your screen, right there. There you go. There you go. And oh no, go back. I just wanted to
oh, I don't
go
want to
back
show
one
my name.
screen. No, I didn't know not your name. You were right where I wanted you to be. Yeah, right
Okay,
there.
perfect.
So your Wayfarer rating is great. and I wanted people to see the number of reviews that you have and your percentage. And two things to end. I want to thank you so much for doing this tutorial. We're going to have this up on YouTube and TikTok. Hopefully this helps a lot of people, and hopefully it helps enrich people's Wayfarer experience. And then I also wanted to thank you personally for being an ambassador and being so giving with your time, coming back for a second year, and working with the Niantic team over there and getting them to understand what the community wants. Niantic has been taking a lot of L's as a company, but I think we can honestly say Wayfarer is in touch. Niantic Wayfarer is in touch with what the community wants. Niantic obviously has a business model that they need to follow, but I think of all the Niantic teams, I personally think Wayfarer is the best team. And I think that is a big testament to you and your fellow ambassadors. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the community.
Yeah, thank you. I like to hear that. I'm definitely excited about what the Wayfarer team has going on this year. So hopefully lots of good things come from it.
All right. And with that, we will end. So I want to thank you again. And I want to let everybody know if you have any questions, you can always reach out to Chris and I, Wayspotters at PokemonProfessor.com. Or you can call our hotline at 704-426-3710, and we will follow up with you. And if you're incredibly lucky, your voicemail will end up on an episode of the show. Or please follow us on Twitter at wayspotters.com. And again, we've been speaking today with tehstone, Wayfarer Ambassador, an all-around good guy. And I don't have a little caption for this, but please, 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 I'll make sure this is in the show notes. Visit the Wayfarer discussion Discord. Is it 5.3 right now? Is that where we are?
Oh, geez. I'm not even sure.
It's somewhere around there. It's somewhere around there. Well, also, if you visit www.wayspotters.com, you can find all the places that you can download the show. And again, there's going to be information on how you can join the Wayfarer discussion Discord. We're not officially affiliated with each other, but we're friends of each other. And I send people there, and hopefully they send people to us. So anytime I come across somebody who's new to Wayfarer, I'm like, are you a member of the Discord? You need to go join. So hopefully people are joining and saying that weird guy on the podcast told me to be here. I've sent like literally 15 people your way, dude. So hopefully we can all continue to work together.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, Jamal.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you on the next short.